Welcome. It is time for the penultimate round. Well, the penultimate round is over. The last round is coming, but this is the Stupid Idiots episode for the penultimate round of AFL in 2025. So let's do this. Welcome to the 30 Club. Appreciate it, mate. It's good to know I'm not the only old person here. That's brilliant. I swear that takes the cake. So Ethan commented, "Why are you going on holiday?" Which is the weirdest question. Where is it? Why are you going on holiday? Like, what kind of question is that? Absolutely zero sense. So Ben obviously commented about that, and he asked me if it was a Jet2 holiday. Some of you are aware of the advert from, well, the English advert, but it's become more of a meme worldwide recently, about a Jet2 holiday. It's a budget holiday airline / hotel package you can get. I've seen those planes. It's called Jet2. Anyway, that's not relevant right now. It is, but the point is, the advert has become a meme, where the woman, who's actually, she's been on interviews now, and video interviews as well, because she's become famous now because of this. But she's the woman who's talking. She's the spokesperson in the adverts for Jet2, and she advertises the prices. You can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. Because nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. That's not the exact script, but it's something along those lines, right? So that's what I referenced there in my reply. Unfortunately, it is not a Jet2 holiday. I hope to find a spouse and have children so I can save £200 for a family of 4. Because nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. I said that specifically because obviously that's the advert. You can save £200 for a family of 4. And then Ethan didn't get the joke. So he goes on some random thing. I'm not even going to read all of this, but it's quite clear that Ethan has not watched this advert that everyone's seen by now. Absolutely ridiculous. Ethan, you just made the list. My days. You know that one friend who doesn't get the joke? Yep, that's Ethan today. My days. The last 2 rounds of Stupid Idiots videos, the last 2 rounds, round 22 and round 21, only 2 people made the list more than once. One was Ethan each time. It was 2 people last week, 2 people the week before. The other person only made it twice. Ethan always, he's always top. Like, I don't know how he keeps the streak going. He's always saying something ridiculous. I can't be arsed sometimes, mate. Round 23 tips. Here we go. What has grass cooked for us? Saints by 28. I mean, you got the result. Freo by 4. Graz, you just made the list. And so have Fremantle. Fremantle are on the list 57 times for that disgraceful performance, and because they lost by 57 points. Absolute frauds. I tell you what, let me get this up actually. This is from the Discord. So there was a conversation in the Discord. Just bear in mind, this is not Graz, there's a different Freo fan. So there's 2 Freo fans on the list for this. Graz for predicting Freo to win. This was after the Port Adelaide game. You know the game where Freo struggled to beat Port Adelaide, only just won at the end? Yeah, that game. After the Port Adelaide game, this dude right here was so confident that Freo would beat both the Brisbane Lions and the Western Bulldogs. Obviously, that game is still yet to happen. But he was so confident that they would beat the Brisbane Lions after just beating Port Adelaide and their history of choking towards the end of the season on top of that. I'd also like to point out, I am aware that the Brisbane Lions can be quite inconsistent. But against top teams, they do pretty well in some instances, especially in the second half of the season. Example A, they went to the GMHBA and won by 41 points. The first win they had there since, I think, 2003. 41 points, they went there and smashed them against a team that they don't win. They don't beat that team away. And they did it. This is after they beat them at the MCG in a prelim last year. But this is even more impressive. And they smashed them. They dominated Geelong the entire game. They also did this to Collingwood. Granted, Collingwood have since been on very bad form. But still, that is significant. The team that did this away to Collingwood and did this away to Geelong, bear in mind both of those 2 teams were top 2 for a while. He was confident that Fremantle would beat this team. He was confident. He must have thought they were playing the team that drove North Melbourne. That's probably what he thought. He didn't think Brisbane would turn up. You see, First of all, Mima's on the list. Okay, he's on the list 10 times. Ethan will not be first this week. That's gonna be a that's gonna be a pretty crazy statistic because he's been on a bit of a streak, Ethan. But somehow, Freo fans have managed to out-idiot him. I can't believe my eyes. You ready for the next screenshot? I'd like you to bear in mind this, by the way. I'd like you to bear this in mind. Okay, 57 points. That's almost 10 goals. I mean, they scored 15 and they scored 5. So basically 10 goals. But I'm talking about the overall margin. 10 goals are 60 points, right? Obviously, they got more behinds. 57 points. 57 points. That is almost a 10-goal margin. I would just like to point this out. A 10-goal margin. I'd also like to point out this. No goals in the first quarter. 1 goal in the third quarter. 1 goal in the fourth. They scored 5 goals the entire game. 3 of them in the second quarter. They had 1 quarter with more than 1 goal. Alright? I'd just like you to bear this in mind, alright? Keep this in your memory. 1 quarter with more than 1 goal for Fremantle. Freo were robbed by shitty umpiring. End of story. Oh my days. Oh dear me, dearie me, dearie me. Can you imagine if a Sydney fan, after the grand final last year, blamed the umpires? That's what this sounds like. Like, genuinely, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Like, there probably was some bad umpiring, but bad umpiring does not lead to 10-goal losses. How dare the umpires make the players not kick straight? Freo scored 8 behinds in the first quarter and no goals. That's the umpire's fault. He hacked their legs. He hacked their legs, turned their legs into robots, so they missed on purpose. It's a conspiracy. It's because of the umpires that we couldn't score goals. 3 quarters, 2 goals and 3 quarters worth of footy. That's the umpire's fault. They made us miss our shots. They made us not kick straight. They made us choke once again at the end of the season. It's all the umpire's fault. 57 points. It's the umpires. That's what he sounds like. That's what he says. How can you get smashed by that much and blame the umpires? It makes 0 sense. Even bad umpiring can't make a defeat that big. Like, that is blood. Like, they performed awfully. It's not just the goal kicking. They just performed awfully. And I don't understand. I don't understand some Freo fans. You see, this is not as bad as Graz, because Graz obviously tipped Freo to win, but he did not make excuses. He was in my stream on Saturday for Adelaide Collingwood. He didn't make excuses. He said that we were bad. Some people just can't admit. You just can't admit things. I just don't understand. So we'll make that 50 times in total. Blaming the bloody umpires. I can't believe my eyes. I really can't. So Graz on the list just once so far. Giants by 5. Good tip. And it worked out. Port Adelaide by 9. You put too much faith in them, mate. You put too much faith. Fraud. This is the fraud off. Carlton versus Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide lost the fraud off. Port Adelaide just paid the list. Stupid idiots. How dare you lose to Carlton? That's ridiculous. Graz, that's the second time. Hawks by 17. Not bad. Obviously, we were ahead by a bigger margin, but obviously Melbourne had a quick surge at the end. Crows by 16. Decent. Richmond by 5. I'll let you off. I'll let you off. Even though you're wrong. This game could have been predicted in any direction, so fair enough. Swans by 3. Can't let you off there, mate. I let you off for the last one, not for that one. Western Bulldogs by 56. A bit nice, but you take those. Okay, so you're on the list 3 times. You're still quite clearly in 3rd place. 57 times Fremantle and 50 times beam number. That is just ridiculous. At least you're only on 3 times, but you're currently 3rd. You're currently still ahead of Ethan, so you better watch out. Who else should be on the list? Collingwood, yeah, Collingwood will be on the list. They lost 5 of the last 6 games. That's unacceptable. Ridiculous. I don't like him anyway, so I want them to lose, but that is just a ridiculous amount of times. They have to be on the list for that. And Gold Coast. Gold Coast. They have clearly got the Brisbane Lions gene, where you can smash a team one week and lose at home the next week. If only they beat the Giants. We could have kicked the Giants out the 8s, but the Gold Coast Suns decided, you know what, we're going to activate our little choking gene as well. It's just unbelievable, Gold Coast. All you have to do was win. I would have preferred they won, because then we would have been above the Giants, but the Suns can't do a simple job. The Suns are playing against Port Adelaide and Essendon in the last 2 games. Surely they can't mess it up. Surely. Surely.
You just made the list! 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 You just made the list!